Hi, I'm Bowling Otter.
And I'm Lizzie Sandwich.
And welcome to the BS.
The Bowling Otter Show.
So,
We were... Tell them why we're laughing.
we're laughing because this right here.
Yes. Explain what happened.
Well, I mean, like, it's a little obvious, right? If you guys watch us a lot, that's not normally there, right? So comments are going to be like, what's on your face?
What happened to your eye?
What happened to your eye, that? I'll tell you what happened. I opened a door into my face. I opened a car door into my face.
We were in a hurry.
I did it myself.
We were in a hurry.
No, nothing was like...
Yeah, we didn't have a
Nobody
lot
else
of
did it
time.
for me. Nobody was distracting me.
Yeah.
I just put the baby in. I went over the door. I went poof, right into my face.
Yeah.
And it was bleeding.
It was. And we were like,
ridiculous.
we gotta go. I forget where we were going. We had a bunch of errands to run, and I get in the car, and he puts the baby in the car seat. We get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just he was like, "Ow!"
Yeah,
and I
it
went,
was
"Oh
one
my
of the dumbest
God,
things
are
I've
you
ever done in
okay?"
my entire life.
And then I went like, "Oh my gosh, you're bleeding. Do you want to go get a tissue?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." He ran in, came back out, and it was like dripping a little bit.
A little bit.
You really got yourself. We were in a hurry. It happens. We've all done
Yeah, it happens. We've all opened car doors into our own faces
No, we've
before.
all injured ourselves, and this is
Yes,
honestly,
we've all injured ourselves in some way, yeah.
The whole time we've been together, I don't think you've injured yourself in like a dumb way ever.
I try not to.
I've done it a million times. You know how many times I've flapped
You
my
broke
hand?
your toe,
I broke
yeah.
my toe on
Yeah.
BB-8.
Yeah. You hit your hands all the time.
I
on
hit my
things, so
hands all the
yeah.
time and everything. Yeah, very, very, very clumsy. But you're not a clumsy
But
person.
I opened a car door into my face. That's the thing.
Tell people you got in a fight. Yeah. Say you were defending.
Should have seen the other guy
You
car
were defending
door.
an old lady.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
doing.
should have seen the other guy.
All right.
The car door.
Anyway, what
But
we're
here we
actually
are.
here for is we're going to do a best top 5 games of 2018.
Oh.
We haven't done this in a while. We did this
so
years
excited.
ago. I think it was last time we did this.
Yeah.
And this year we really got back to playing some longer
plays.
all the way through. Twitch helped us be able to do that a little bit more too. So we felt like we were, you guys have been asking for it too, and you ask for it every year. But this year was kind of like, yeah, actually, I think we played enough.
Yeah.
To kind of decide what our favorite 5 were. So Lissy and I each have our own top 5s. They're slightly different, but they're very similar, I think, at this point, right? Slightly different,
I'm
though.
surprised.
And we got some honorable mentions, too. And we didn't play a lot of the games that came out this year. Of course, we played as many as we could.
Right.
So we're going to be picking, naturally, from the games that we actually play. So you may not see some stuff on this list that you would have liked to have seen out there, but chances are pretty good we didn't play it then. So,
Right. You know what else I'm bummed about?
What's that?
That there were games that we played that we streamed and things that did not come out.
oh, yeah. We played some older
last
stuff.
year. Yeah, we played some older
stuff.
games that were so
So
good.
some of the best
like,
stuff we played this year may not have actually come out this year,
Right,
basically.
like I played Frambeau for the first time.
Yeah.
And dragged you downstairs to play this. It was a solo stream.
Happy birthday, friend.
Oh my gosh, how good was Frambeau? And it was one of my favorite games that I played this year,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah.
Probably in the top 3.
Yeah.
And I can't put it on there
That's
because
not what this
it was,
is, though.
I know, but oh my gosh, it drives me nuts that I waited so long to play that game, or we waited so long, and you
Can't
missed
play 'em
the
all.
first half.
Can't play 'em all, you
but
know?
there's also some on your list that were on your solo stream, and I only saw little bits and pieces of that are not on mine. So, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see where we wind up. Okay, so I'm gonna start because I feel like you're gonna make me a little bit paranoid because Maddie's much more articulate about this. Maddie used to be a game critic, for those of you who didn't know, and he
over
wrote
that.
for this, and so I feel like you're gonna be a lot more articulate, and I'm just gonna be like, I like this game because it was fun. So
It was a good time.
yeah, exactly, which I think has a lot to do with. I mean, you want to have
that's
a good
all you
time.
gotta say. This is your
That's really
personal
the
top
benchmark.
list.
Yes. So,
See, no, it's not wrong.
So-
there is no wrong.
well, good. Thank you. Oh my
This
gosh, I'm
point.
sure I'll get all kinds of.
No, you can
Anyway.
you can disagree,
Of course.
but it's not wrong.
That's true. And opinions and opinions.
Exactly.
So I want to give an honorable mention to Unravel 2, which I had so much fun playing.
Yeah, it was a fun
Looking
one.
back on it, when we were going over our list of games that we were playing this year, and I saw Unravel on there, I completely forgot that it was this year. Didn't it release in the middle of E3 or something like that?
Yeah, I think right at E3.
And we played it right away, and it was frustrating in parts. I remember there being a lot of, it was kind of repetitive and things like that, but darn it, if I didn't have a good time playing that. Come on!
Yeah, it was a fun co-op game for sure.
Yeah, it was.
And I think I remember being less frustrating than the first one.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more like they got rid of some of like the absolutely like crap, like I want to kill myself parts. That the first one had more anymore. I feel
where
like
you're
that
just
was the case.
repeating the same section over and over.
Yeah.
And I remember this did have a couple of moments like that where we were like, oh, but still, maybe that's just a testament to co-op games. I don't know.
I think some of that was because we were getting in each other's way, for that stuff.
Which
So
may
it's
have
like,
been why it was fun.
yeah,
Who knows?
exactly. It was hard, but it was also fun.
Yes. And my second honorable mention, it pains me to say, is Red Dead Redemption 2. But because we aren't finished.
We're not finished. We're not even
We're
close to
not
finish.
done.
No.
So we didn't. It's not in your top 5. I believe you gave it an honorable mention as well, right?
Yes, we'll get there, Lissy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, it's spoilers.
But neither one of us felt comfortable independently with putting it in our top 5. Had we finished it, it definitely would have been up there.
Probably, yeah, I would probably. The way it's going,
I love
it's
it. I know.
definitely
We're
going in a
playing
direction
more.
that feels like it's one of the best we played.
Yeah, we're playing more of it. We're back in it, by the way. The holidays, we kind of put it on pause, and we're back in it. We're recording it right after. I'm so excited. But I feel like it would be up there because I'm enjoying every second of it. It's almost one of those games that I wish we had 12 hours to just sit, just lay in bed in your PJs, and just play it for 12 hours. But because it's just one of those kind of immersive games like that, But I wish I could put it in the top 5, and it sucks that we couldn't. Okay, so my number 5 is Captain Spirit.
The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Yeah, is that the full title?
That is the full
Wrong,
title.
Lissy, wrong!
Well, you already got it wrong.
But I liked Captain Spirit, and I think most people did. I just love Life is Strange.
I did see a lot of people say it was really cringy, but I didn't think it
had
was,
its moments.
I didn't think it was nearly as cringy as the first Life is Strange season.
No, we were bracing ourselves.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, it's gonna
for
be
the
bad, isn't
cringe.
it? Yeah.
But maybe it's because I like games that deal a lot with, like they were dealing with grief, like the mother had died and all that stuff. Spoiler! I'll try to not spoil. How could we do this without spoiling?
No, there's gonna be
mildly
spoilers
spoiling?
all over this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
all right, we
the way
won't
it
do
is.
any like big guys, you know what I mean? But
Big
we got
guys.
big guys. We got to talk about the game though, But I believe their mother had just died. It's been a while since we played it. I think it was in the summer. And they were dealing with grief, and the dad was drinking and all this kind of stuff, and he was like escaping through this character. So I like games like that tend to go in those type of serious issues, and a lot of people
explore those kinds of things. Yeah.
Like Life is Strange.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not all like shooters and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's
Adventure
at number 5.
games.
I know, adventure. Yes, exactly. Okay, my number 4 is SpiderMan. Spider-Man. That was fun. And the reason why it's not higher for me is because I missed some of it because we were streaming. But I think I saw, because there were some times where I was putting the baby to bed and you started.
Yeah, there was some
and things like that,
yeah.
right? Because we streamed it. So I missed probably a total of what?
I think you went to the
maybe an
bathroom
hour
once and missed
a
like
half.
the coolest scene in the game.
Oh, really?
Basically, I remember you came back down like, oh my god, let's see that whole thing.
But that was so fun,
Yeah.
and it was really cool, and it had a good story, and it was like it had like some shockers in it.
Yeah.
So I liked Spider-Man a lot. I wish I was able to sit from completely beginning to the completely end because it was fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I feel like you said, I'm going to be like, that was fun.
Yeah.
I love me a puzzle game, man. I love some puzzles, and that was a good one. And I
Like
like
the Zelda-style puzzles kind of thing? Yeah.
And I like
Platforming puzzles.
Yeah, and I like Lara Croft. I really do. And I liked that atmosphere. That was a really cool area. What was that? Peru? And
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
were going all around South America and stuff. It was so neat. They always pick really cool locations for these types of games.
Yeah.
And show them to you in a way that you haven't seen them before in another game.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we've been in these areas in other games and things like that.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool and really immersive and everything. And I remember being really excited to come down and like finish. We were like, let's go downstairs. I had a couple dreams about it. I use that as like a benchmark. Do you
Yeah.
dream about games?
I don't often dream about games
Really?
at all. Yeah.
Oh my God.
really don't.
I dream about games all the time.
Last night, surprisingly enough, I haven't played this game in like a month and a half. I dreamed about Fortnite.
Really?
Last night I dreamt about Fortnite.
How weird.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't played this game. I haven't played any this season. Anyway, I'm going totally off the rails right now. But yeah,
Wow.
that's the first game I've dreamt about in a long time, and I haven't even played it anytime recently.
Oh
so
my
I don't
gosh.
know.
If we're playing a game that I'm really into for the channel and then we go to bed, we'll end an episode and go to bed within an hour. So it's still really fresh in my brain.
Yeah.
And and I dreamt about this one a lot. I really did.
So
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Okay, my number 2 is Detroit Become Human. Now. I know, I dreamt about this one too. A lot. I think the most out of everything on here.
Really?
Now that I think about it, yeah.
Okay.
Because this, well, I mean, like most people, like it destroyed you. Like what we did, oh my God, what we did. Do you remember who we killed? The first one we killed, the first android we killed. We had.
Oh, yeah.
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 And it was devastating.
Yeah.
And we had to go back and fix it.
Yes.
And until we did, I don't want to
terrible.
spoil our playthrough if you haven't seen it.
That was rough.
It was. We made just like, I don't know if it was a crazy mistake or we
It was a crazy mistake.
It was, wasn't it?
It was a crazy
mistake. Some kind of fluke, and it completely, like, we were devastated.
Yeah.
And the fact that games do that to you, books do this to me, movies do this to me, where you feel like that pit.
Yeah.
You know, and there's something that games have that books don't have and movies don't have, is that like you're making the decisions, like you're in it.
Yeah.
You know, did you guys see Bandersnatch?
Bandersnatch, yeah. That was
Oh my
cool.
God!
That's cool.
Oh, we got to talk
A little
about
adventure game of a movie.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait till we stream next so we could talk to you guys about it. But anyway, or next BS on the internet even. But the fact that we were so like involved, just it ripped me apart. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And we had to go fix, you know, and there've been other games like that. I can't remember where we've had to go back and fix something. I think we did a couple things in Until Dawn where we wanted to go back and you kind of go, oh, okay, you know, I'll go back. But this, I was like, we have like this.
Oh yeah, it was bothering me.
Yeah, it was
totally.
bothering you. And the fact that it gave me this kind of feeling, you know, it's like, wow. But it did have its moments.
It's still a David Cage game.
Yeah. And that, because when we were thinking about top 5, this is, I think, the first one, or one of the first ones that popped into my brain. And being that it's number 2, you know, but I struggled with this even in the first one, but I think it's because some of that cheesiness that's in there, the David Cagey type stuff. What was it?
The singing at the end?
The singing, thank you. Oh my gosh, you took the words out of my mouth. Yes.
I couldn't.
Yeah, they broke into song at one point, if you don't know what we're talking about, and we were kind of like, ooh, but okay.
Yeah.
But I loved this game. I kind of want to go back maybe like in a year and stream it or something.
Okay.
Play it again.
Okay.
Because
make some different choices.
Yeah, make some different choices. Have it wipe out of my brain a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but I like the story was really good. It had like a lot of really interesting moral questions, and I loved that game. But you know, oof. I know I liked it more than you did, but we'll see when he gets there.
Oh my God.
We'll see if it's in Maddie's top 5.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. I guess suspense.
Okay, Lissy's number 1 is God of War.
God of War.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
It's like you had trouble with picking that one.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Because I was like, God of War, done. And then I thought about Detroit Become Human, and I had to kind of go like, well, no. And it lasted about that long because I feel like God of War was damn near perfect.
Yeah.
Like over the lifetime I've had of playing games, you know, and you think of like your top 5.
You played most of the other God. You played the other core God of War games. You played 1, 2, and 3, I think.
I did.
Right? Yeah.
And what did you do?
I played
This is before we met.
1 and 2. I never played 3, but I did play the one at PSP, Chains of Olympus.
Oh yeah.
And
I didn't play that.
And then I hadn't played any of the other ones, I don't think, since.
Oh, okay.
So I did miss out on a lot of really good ones, but it's crazy.
It was like a piece of, I felt like I was reading like literature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even just some of the characters in there, you have like these awe-inspiring moments, and it was funny.
It was
like devastating. And I'm sure we'll talk about it more when you get there, because I don't want to ruin yours. So I'm sure we'll have more of a discussion when you get to God of War. I'm sure you will. Yeah, I'm sure if you will. And because I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on it. But a lot of the imagery that they had, the characters that they had, like I was attached to everybody. There was people who I was feeling bad for. There was like personalities were shifting and people were changing. And it was really, it was like epic, you know, really, really epic. So that is why God of War is my number 1.
There you go. Okay, my turn.
Maddie's top 5.
Maddie's top 5. All right, here we go. So I'm going to start with my honorable mentions as well.
Yes.
So I will say also Red Dead Redemption 2 because I didn't play enough of it to include it in my official listing, but the game so far I'm loving, actually loving everything about it. So I'm super excited to keep going. But just wanted to make sure that got shouted out as one of the best experiences I've had playing a game so far, but I didn't complete the game. Second honorable mention was actually Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Because that is the most fun I've had with a Call of Duty game in, I don't know, years. I usually play the Call of Duty game whenever it comes out, just go through the campaign real quick and then play some multiplayer. And I don't think I've been this stuck on playing Call of Duty multiplayer since the first Black Ops.
Oh.
And it's really good. And they have Blackout, which is an awesome Battle Royale mode. And I like Battle Royale stuff right now. So I spent a lot of time playing that game like before bed.
Yeah,
so I kind of had to just mention it out there. I didn't quite crack my top 5 because there is no single player campaign.
Yeah.
It's all just multiplayer, so I didn't feel like it was quite fleshed out enough for me to put it up there, but I still really liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5 for me is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really cool. It wasn't the best game I played this year, but it was up there. And I'm bummed that I didn't play Rise of the Tomb Raider because it sounds to me like that was like the best one of this trilogy and
I've
the one where
heard.
they got everything right. And it sounds like everything that's cool about Shadow of the Tomb Raider really was established in Rise of the Tomb Raider. Because there were definitely some disappointing things about Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Like, they started off with this whole idea of there being these apocalyptic events, these 4 big apocalyptic events.
That's
and we
right.
had like one of them.
That's right.
Like, I wanted to be like, oh, we're going to have like a giant thing and then another huge section, another huge section. I wanted it to go like that, and it just never happened. So I feel like at the beginning of it built me up for this game that never happened.
Right.
You know, and by the end of it, I felt like they didn't even know what they were talking about anymore. Like, with like...
It did kind of go off the rails.
Yeah, it was kind of like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, and so this story kind of unraveled a little bit, but the gameplay was still really good. It was a lot of fun to play. I wanted to use the bow and arrow all the time, even when I should have been using guns. I just loved the way it worked. Had a ton of fun playing it and got number 5. Number 4 is Dead Cells. Freaking love Dead Cells this year.
I missed
remember
this one.
I played it the early access version, the very first release of the early access version on Steam, a couple years ago now, I think, maybe a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, about.
I remember I was in our old house playing it, and I really loved it because it was a roguelike thing, but there was some you would unlock things as you went, so it was like roguelike with this umbrella progression through it. So it was like a roguelike with progression, which I really liked, and had like a Dark Souls feel of it with like some of the boss fights and stuff like that.
Oh, totally.
But it was still had great platforming, just gameplay, and I'm a sucker for platforms like that, like Metroidvania style.
Yeah.
And
That's
I played
like one of
this
your
one.
favorites.
Yeah, totally. And
those.
I played this a bunch on Twitch, and I only went through one run through. I got through the last boss and beat it. You know, you're supposed to play it repeatedly, and I definitely still sometimes feel like I'm going to sit down and play it again. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah,
and usually
of
I'm
course.
like, I'm holding the Switch. I'm like, should I play Dead Cells? But all my progressions on Steam,
Oh, yeah,
so I don't
yeah.
even want to like bother bringing it up. But anyway, I really enjoyed playing that one. We got a whole playlist on Twitch if you guys are interested in watching that in our collections section on Twitch. So you can go watch the Dead Cells gameplay we did. But yeah,
That's so cool.
that was number 4.
I'm bummed that I missed so much of it.
Yeah.
I caught these little pieces. What I did see was very cool.
It was a lot of fun. Number 3, Detroit Become Human.
Ooh.
I definitely like this game a lot. That was another game that had me thinking about it a lot while we were in between play sessions. I was definitely like really wanted to find out what happened next and
thought about it all day.
resolve situations that were happening.
Really?
Thought about it a lot. And it's definitely, in my opinion, the best David Cage game so far, the best Quantic Dream game.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely better than like Heavy Rain or what was that
Heavy
one
Rain.
with what's her face? With Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, I like those games.
I liked Beyond Two Souls more than you did, I think.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. There's like so many problems with them. That's kind of the problem with David Cage games for me. So the more time I spend away from them, thinking about them, the worse they kind of start to get. You start to like be like, wait a minute, but that one thing, and then you start to remember stuff that just was like
You kind of
hanging
go through
threads.
this with it, and then you go, but it was great.
But it was great,
Yeah,
but
you
then
kinda
you're
go,
like, you
like,
think
up
like,
and
this is
down.
magnificent. You're like, no, it's still great, but man, there are some problems in there. So it kind of became that to me this year, but I still really enjoyed it. I'm really happy to have played it. I thought it was really well acted.
It was.
And
it was really
just
well done.
Super entertaining. Great adventure game. Number 2 was SpiderMan.
Ooh.
SpiderMan was freaking good. Really freaking good. The gameplay is what really got me. Just like the flying through. Like, I never used a fast travel mechanic because I just wanted to freaking just fly through the cities.
Like, as smoothly as
all the
possible
time. I just wanted to and it was like a little meta game, just trying to get from one place to the other in as like nice and cohesive ways you could, even though there's no consequence of doing it like badly. And it was so much fun just to travel throughout that game world. I never even used a fast travel mechanic, and they had all the suits, tons of different abilities.
They did.
All the combat was a lot of fun. Like, I was going out of my way to go into some of those forts that had the crazy waves of enemies, just because it was really fun to get into fights in that game.
Oh, sure.
I remember there was one super awesome boss fight where I was fighting both Hawk and Shocker at the same time, but it was all in the air. You weren't landing on anything. Oh! And it was so cool.
Yes, I remember that. I was here for that.
Yeah, there were some great action scenes in that.
Really cool.
And all the cutscenes were amazing. I thought that was extremely well acted. The story took some turns that I didn't expect. Took on some tones that I didn't expect. Like, it got really heavy in there.
Yeah.
And just the balance between like the cinematics and the actual gameplay, and I thought it did some of the best of the year. I mean, it was one of the best action games I played, one of the best superhero games I played for sure. So I really liked it, and I can't wait for what's inevitably going to be the next one, right?
Oh, totally.
And I hope they have the same Spider-Man. Like, I don't want them to change the characters now.
Oh, totally.
Now I'm already attached to them. But yeah, that's number 2 for me for sure. And number 1 is God of War. Oh. God of War. And it wasn't really hard for me to pick God of War.
No?
No. I kind of knew going in, like, God of War, and then everything else, you know?
Oh, my gosh.
I did like Spider-Man a lot, but for me, God of War was just that... I don't know, that just kind of got me in all the right places. I think it's because it had more of an RPG feel. Spider-Man kind of did too, but it was less RPG, more action, and God of War was vice versa.
Yeah.
I really, I don't know, for all the reasons you said, right? The characters were so good. I didn't know what it would be like for them taking God of War in this direction, with Kratos having a son, kind of retired, you know, basically, and then having to own up to things he had done in the past.
Right.
And then, like, the kid not finding out about it first, didn't know what his lineage was.
Oh my gosh.
And the whole thing, all that stuff, and then
what that does to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Insane.
Yeah, there's so many things about it. And who's that one god that couldn't feel pain? Baldur?
Oh,
is that who it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, and his mom, that whole relationship thing going on there.
I know.
Oh, and then the boss fights you still had. Yeah, if you haven't played, you got it. And then they still had the super epic, classic style God of War boss fights. But the gameplay was more the over the shoulder, kind of like Witcher style. Yeah. So I don't know. And it was an open world. You could go through, do different missions. I don't know. I think this whole reboot worked phenomenally. Yeah. I feel like it's definitely the best God of War game that's ever come out.
Yeah.
One of my favorite action adventure games I've ever played, action RPGs, and I just can't. And the way it ended with that cliffhanger, like, I can't wait for the next one.
Oh my gosh, I know
so much. But yeah,
I know.
Like Spider-Man, Dead Cells, and God of War, guys. If you guys haven't seen us on Twitch, because of my top 5, I'm realizing only 2 of the 5 games are series we played on the YouTube channel. And here we are putting this video here. Okay. The other 3, God of War, Spider-Man, Dead Cells, we played on Twitch. So if you go to twitch.tv/bowlingouter, you can go to our video section where we have collections, where we have playlists, all of our playthroughs of these games. So you can just watch them straight through. And if you're interested in seeing our playthroughs now, because I know we just had so much fun with games this year with those.
Oh my God.
Great year for games.
Yes.
Seriously. Really good year.
All
right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us while we went through our favorite games of the year.
Absolutely.
This was fun. And I'm looking forward to doing this again next year. I think this is a cool way to do it. Splitting some playthroughs to YouTube and Twitch really enabled us to get through a lot more full-length games. And I feel like we're more anxious to dive into them now.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then we're going to have to just pick up where we left off in Red Dead and keep that going. So that's coming next.
I know. I feel like that would have been in the top 5. Like when we finish it, I'm going to be like, oh no! You know? So I'm excited. We're going to play it right after we record this. I'm so excited.
We haven't played it in a month, so I'm psyched.
I know. It's been such a crazy month. Yeah. But Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Everybody be safe if you're going out. Do your thing. Be safe.
And also put in the comments what your top 5 favorite games were this year.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then let us know why and what you thought of our lists. All right, guys. Well, if you like this video, please support us on Patreon. Click like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.